Hey everyone, welcome back to the Empowerment Hour. I'm Kendra Duquette with the Preventative Health Institute. One of these days we'll have somebody else on here with me. Sometimes I feel like you're probably tired of listening to me all the time. Jenny will be on, and we're going to try to get Dr. Duquette to come on and do a few, but mostly you have to listen to me. Today, though, I want to talk about your job. So we always call it the job, since we're serial entrepreneurs. But you know, your job or your career can really either add to your health or can really add to disease. So if you remember the episode, I don't remember what number it was, but I was talking about how health is a two-way street. So you're always, no matter what you're doing, either heading towards health or you're heading towards disease, right? So people's jobs and careers definitely can add to either side, and usually it's adding to the side of disease, right? So if you have a job, where you are not your boss, you're working for someone else, you're at their mercy of how many hours you work, deadlines, pressures you have on you to, whatever you have to do for your job. Most people don't feel as though they're making enough money for the amount of work that they put in and effort. In the current climate right now in 2022, so many people have had to step away from their jobs if they valued their own health freedoms and, not wanting to do whatever the mandates are for their jobs, to keep their jobs. Other people have stayed because they feel like they have to, and maybe done things that they don't feel comfortable with. I know I have a lot of friends that are in corporate jobs, and they have not, they know better than to get the vaccine, but when they go into the office, they have to wear a mask. That's the rules, that type of thing. And I'll just give you an example, just because of my personality. When when this whole narrative started 2 years ago, we actually were sharing an office space with a chiropractor here in town, and we really liked the office. It was a nice, busy office. We had good resources because we're functional medicine and preventative health, and then he was a chiropractor. There was a massage therapist in there. It was a good space. But when this all happened, they put the rules in place that everybody had to wear masks, and they started sanitizing everything. A big part of what we teach is that toxic chemicals obviously are contributing to our health. So they started using all kinds of toxic chemicals to sanitize. And anyway, for me personally, I don't compromise my values. So we immediately started looking for somewhere else that we could go. And we ended up finding another building. Right away, we got out of there. So I never had to ever wear a mask because we're our own boss, right? So we set the rules. So the way that we got around that personally, I don't know why I'm even on this subject, but I'm just showing you that if you're your own boss, you set the rules, and it becomes a healthy situation for you because you're not giving up your values, or you're setting your own rules basically. So anyway, the rest of my story is we were able to see patients in our office, in our clinic, one at a time. We kept them separate. So we never did ever wear a mask, and people came in and they could keep them on if they felt more comfortable, or they could take them off. So anyway, that's just an example of, being your own boss. But I totally got off of track what I was going to say with this. But anyway, okay, so, I was also going to give you the example of, again, when this whole narrative started 2 years ago, just an example of people that we were working with. So in the very beginning, when everybody locked down and you had to stay home, our clients that we were working with in the clinic, they had to stay home. And it was amazing how much faster they healed going through the program. It was really pretty amazing. So they were healing really fast. feeling much better very quickly. And then the interesting thing was, then all of a sudden they were allowed to go back to work. And as soon as they went back to work, their symptoms were gone. But as soon as they went back to work, almost all of them, their symptoms came back. Okay? So most jobs are a very big contributor to people's health issues that they have going on. So just as an example, we had a hairstylist immediately went back. She had to wear a mask, and then if you're a hairstylist, you're working with toxic chemicals, that kind of thing. Immediately her symptoms started coming back. We had a teacher that I think her main issue when she came to us was migraines, and they were gone. And as soon as she went back, her migraines came back. But again, they didn't feel like they had a choice. They didn't feel like they could leave. But something that people that truly have that entrepreneur mentality, it's not for everybody. It's like, I think 3% of the population could truly be their own boss and run their own business and be successful. And that's okay. But for those people, they know that if they went to a job and their symptoms came back, they know they could quit and there would be something else for them. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, these people unfortunately felt like they had to stay in their job, but the symptoms came back and then they were suffering again, right? So, and most workplaces are very toxic environments too. So the two I mentioned, very toxic. We had somebody one time actually that complained that our system wasn't working for her. And but the thing is, you have to address all aspects of your life when you're trying to turn around your health. So again, a job is a big part of your life. If you think about how many hours you stay at your job, so this particular person, and she was someone that worked in a hospital, and we see this time and time again, people that work in hospitals, not healthy. They have all kinds of symptoms going on, GI issues, migraines, brain fog, pain, and they're the healthcare workers helping, but they have all kinds of issues going on themselves because a hospital is a very toxic environment. It's very stressful. The EMF load in a hospital is very high. They usually, if you look at the top of hospitals, they have 5G towers right on top of them. So you think about all of that. You think about all the machinery inside giving off EMFs, radiation equipment, all of the big giant testing equipment. I mean, I don't even know what all is in a hospital, but I can't imagine the EMF load. They're sterilizing everything. It's just a very toxic environment. So she was going very slow through the program, and that was why. But she wouldn't step away from her job and would also not acknowledge that her job could be contributing to her health. And then we've had other people that we told them, if the one white elephant in the room is the fact that you are still working in this toxic environment. And they actually quit their job and stepped away, and immediately the symptoms would go away, and they, then they could really, truly get to that healthy place. But anyway, so on the flip side of that, if you choose to be your own boss, to have your own career, and a career in a virtual space, actually, a coaching career can be very healthy for you because you are making your own rules. You're in your own space. Like here in our empowerment center, we have no toxic chemicals whatsoever. Our whole building is hardwired, so there's no EMFs. You have control of your space. That's a huge one. You have control of your time, like I talked in the last video. And so it adds to your health. So also just being your own boss, if you have a brick and mortar, like some of you probably have heard me say before that I had that little time when I went and opened that do-it-yourself dog wash in the health food store for pets, which was great. I loved it, but I don't think it was contributing probably to my health because I was in a brick and mortar, business. I had some control, obviously, of what I did in there, but it was also somebody else's building. So there was a high EMF load and whatever else they had going on. I had to be there, for whatever hours I had set for myself. And that type of thing. A lot of chiropractors I know, a lot of just wellness practitioners. They're in their own business building, and it can be really stressful and adding to disease in their bodies because they are there all day long. They don't have the control that they want. It's very busy. It's stressful, that kind of thing. But truly the healthiest career you can have, I think, obviously, because we have our, coaching certification, but is really having a virtual practice, because you can set your own hours, you can be in your own space, you can set how much, when you want to do it, how much time, how many patients you want to work with, how much money you want to earn. You can go on vacation and still be taking calls and, coaching calls and working with your clients, from somewhere else. Whatever you want, you are really designing this whole life for yourself when you have a virtual practice. So I just wanted to do a quick one, and so that I think people forget about how their job can really be adding to health or disease. Because really, truly, if you're working a full-time job, you are spending the majority of your day at that job, doing that job. And I know many people who then bring their job home with them, and they're still, working from home. So anyway, it's something to think about. And again, we know that being an entrepreneur and being in charge of your own practice is not for everyone. But for those of you that this is for you, it's truly just it's such a great lifestyle, because you really, like I said, you are the creator of your life. You are designing your own life, and on top of that, I always say there is not a more fulfilling job I think out there than working with people who are so desperate because they feel so bad, and then truly giving them their life back. It's just, I love it. It's such a rewarding, it's just a rewarding space to be in. So anyway, I hope this helps. And just think about it, wherever you are with your job, really think about, is it adding to your health, or is it taking away? Is it adding to, that body burden that I've talked about, I talk about all the time? Is it adding to your body burden, or is it taking away? So just think about it, and then if you feel like you're ready to really, take that step and start your own career, and you want to work with us, using our system, so that you're ready to implement and move forward, just reach out and, set up a call, and we'll just see if you're a good fit, for you. Okay? Have a good day.